Denise Calls Up is not too bad. If the biggest thing I disliked about this was watching a woman hold a car phone in her hand while driving, I guess it must be a pretty decent film, but that did really, really irritate me. I know it's more of a product of its time, but nevertheless, it bothered me. This film was released in 1995. It's directed by Hal Salwen, written by Salwen, with a cast including Tim Daly, Caroleen Feeney, Dan Gunther, and various others. I became aware of this because of Tim Daly, and ultimately, it's absolutely fine. It's definitely creative. It's about a group of friends who only communicate via phone. So every time a character speaks, they're on the phone. And it's not badly executed. To move the narrative forward and invite us into the characters' worlds exclusively through their phone conversations is a really interesting idea, and I do think it works really well. However, at the same time, while things did move forward, I did find it hard to care about the characters in any great depth, and I'm trying to pinpoint why that is, and I think it's because when they're on the phone, they're communicating with each other, and it's like we're eavesdropping. At least this is kind of what I'm determining from my own feelings. It's like eavesdropping on somebody's conversation. It doesn't quite feel like we're being invited into their world. It feels like we're eavesdropping. Obviously, many films have phone call conversations in them, but it's usually very brief. It rarely takes up the bulk of the film. And I think that's why I struggled to really connect with the characters or really care about them very much, because I always felt like I was eavesdropping rather than being invited to be part of the narrative with the characters. So it does work, but I also think that it has some limitations. At least for me, maybe other people won't feel the same, but if I were to establish why I feel like I didn't connect with the characters as much or didn't care about the narrative as much, I think that's why. Visually, it's fine, interestingly well done, no problems there. Obviously, when we have a lot of people on the phone, it sounds like that could get quite stale, but actually it's quite creative with different locations, including in cars while driving, which I'm still annoyed by, but product of its time. I think it's creatively done. Everything's put together really well. Great performances. The characters are believably written, even though I didn't care about them very much. As a one-off, it's interesting. I think they executed it pretty well. I don't know if I'd watch it again. And I don't think I could sit through many films with this approach. But as something a little bit different, it was interesting. For that reason, not because I cared about the characters, not because the narrative itself was that fascinating. Again, because I didn't feel like I was being invited on this journey with the characters. I was eavesdropping. But nevertheless, it's interesting. If you're curious to see what it's like, give it a go. The characters and narrative might appeal to you more than they did to me. But ultimately, it's a fun concept. And it's not too bad.